What if the problem is not that you're not working hard enough? But what if the real challenge is that you're working hard without being connected to why you're doing the work in the first place? Well, today we're exploring why purpose must come before productivity. I can't wait to have this conversation. Come on, let's get into it. Welcome to Transformation Station Leadership Podcast, where we explore leadership principles, mindset shifts, and transformational conversations that help you and I grow personally and professionally. I'm your host, Adrienne Benton, and today's conversation focuses on something many of us as leaders are searching for: alignment. And today, joining me is an incredible guest. We're going to discuss purpose before productivity. And before we dive into this discussion and you get to meet our guest for today, I just want to remind you that every week we have Monday and Wednesday, we have transformational leadership podcast releases. Now, listen, you don't want to miss even one episode. We're in season 4. So, what this means is if you're just joining us, you got to go back. If you've been with us for a while, but you know that you have not seen or heard every episode, you got to go back. And when you go back and you listen or you watch the replay on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, whatever platform, Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, you don't want to keep this goodness to yourself. I need you to share every episode with at least 5. You see, 5, at least 5 leaders in your network, because we are a community that believes that when we learn together, we grow together. Well, let me tell you a little bit about our guest. His name is Stephen. Stephen McConnell is the founder of Growth Mindset Initiative, a writer, a speaker, and personal mastery coach. I love that. Drawing on more than 30 years in the corporate world, he helps individuals like you and I and organizations to move from burnout and misalignment into clarity and confidence and intentional action. His work centers on reconnecting people with their purpose, shifting limited beliefs, and leading with authenticity so growth becomes sustainable rather than exhausting. Stephen, it is my honor to welcome you today to Transformation Station Leadership Podcast. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Adrienne. This is an honor and a pleasure. I've actually waited for a while to be on this show, so I really appreciate being here.
Absolutely. We're thrilled to have you. And Stephen, I'm really looking forward to this conversation because this is a pivot. I believe it's a pivotal, foundational conversation that we must have as leaders for self-awareness and for growth. So, as I was getting ready for it, I was thinking to myself that many of us, we spend years pursuing productivity. Right? We grow up in a culture that tells you produce, 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 while neglecting purpose. Sometimes we're even steered to, oh, don't worry about purpose. You'll find purpose along the way. Just do. I know I, in my own careers, I have 3 careers, right? In my own careers, I have achieved goals. I have worked hard to complete projects, to fill calendars, but I know what it's like to do all that and still feel like something is missing. So I want to start off by asking you this question. Why is purpose more important than productivity when it comes to not short term, but when it comes to long term leadership success?
I'm going to try and give a simple analogy here. Come the first of the year, January 1st, what do? A lot of people give simple goals that they're going to cover. They're just I'm going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Come, say, February 14th, Valentine's Day.
Mercy.
How many still have those goals and doing those goals?
Mercy.
And you're absolutely right. We're in a society that is focused on raising up children and raising ourselves up with productivity first. Productivity.
Mm-hmm.
The precise answer is, where's the energy coming from?
Mm.
So going back to the analogy of the New Year's resolution,
Mm-hmm.
let's reframe it. Let's change it and say, I need to do this thing because it's my new life, my new lifestyle. So, example, I need to lose 1 pound and continue on this health journey for this lifestyle that I'm going to enjoy. That connects with your future self, your purpose. Why are you doing this? Because you have a lifestyle of health that you want to have. As opposed to, I've got a goal.
Mm.
And so, really, the purpose part of it, and the purpose in the book that I've written is essentially just that. It is tying in where you see your future self,
Mm.
where you want to go with what you're doing.
Mm. Yes.
And another
Yes.
story there for me was, once I started to really sober up and start working on myself and start saying, this is my purpose, this is my, I was still in manufacturing, I was still in corporate, I was absolutely miserable.
Mm.
And the
Mercy.
reason I was an absolute miserable is because it wasn't necessarily a bad company, but I was the bad company.
Mercy. I like that. Like.
Because I didn't see my purpose in what I was doing. At that point in time, I was a department manager. I was changing from departments. I finished establishing a department. I was training new people for that department, moving into building a new department.
Mm.
And for me to realize, simplify, clarify that, it ended up being my purpose. I'm a person of service.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, I need to be of service to my team to lead them towards these goals. And at
Mm.
that point in time, the job became simpler because the energy wasn't from unsustainable practices, which leads to burnout. It's from the sustainable, my emotional intelligence building structures.
Mm. Here in Transformation Station, we invite our leaders that are listening and watching to stop and pause in the midst of the conversation and to think about what is resonating with them. So, Stephen has been giving us a masterclass already, really talking to us in a way that causes deep reflection. And so, leaders, I want to invite you to stop right now and to pause and to consider a few things, right? As we talk about why purpose is more important than productivity, Stephen and I have a best practice that we want to share with you, which says regularly connect daily tasks to your larger mission and values. And notice that word regularly. That means don't just leave it for happenstance, but develop your own system where you are checking in with you, because it's that connection that helps for purpose to guide you as you are being productive. So, Stephen, I want to ask you this question. Why do so many high achievers, and we're talking today to high achievers, right? To leaders who
Mhm.
are highly driven. Why do so many high achieving leaders feel unfulfilled despite, this is serious, being productive and successful?
Oof.
Hmm.
I feel this because really, um, to get radically honest here,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of us learn to high achieve through for
Mm-hmm.
validation,
Yes.
for approval, for
Yes.
self-worth.
Yes.
And the truth I teach clients is that self-worth, we are born with one thing coming into this world, and that is self-worth. It's
Mm,
unlimited.
mercy.
And so the question is why do high achievers burn out?
Mm-hmm.
Because the goal is still always more validation, more validation. Desire creates more desire,
Mm,
not fulfillment.
mm,
So the important part there is to understand you are fulfilled. You are fulfilled on your journey, but your journey is so long term, and this is another thing that I love to teach, is so long term that it's going to take a team of a team of a team of a team
Mercy.
to get you there. And I call that the North Star, right? So I love long term thinking,
Hmm.
and it's the legacy. The North Star is your legacy. And so there's no validation there, there's no ego there because you're no longer in the picture after the first generation.
Mm.
Therefore, it becomes very sustainable. You're all about the journey, the current moment, and the planning of how that team is going to train that team.
Hmm. Hmm. So, as you're talking, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about the fact that what you said is so true in terms of many of us as leaders, we align goals with external expectations, right? So, leaders, if you are finding your purpose in what the company, the CEO, society, your family, what somebody else has told you, then that you can't do that, right? Because you have internal purpose, which then allows the external to be like that supplemental, but that external can't be where you find fulfillment. And there's a leadership principle that says fulfillment comes from alignment, not achievement alone. And it makes me think that, success without purpose often creates achievement without fulfillment. Leaders,
Mm,
that's not how we want to lead, nor is that how we want to live. You're going to cause yourself to be on a cycle that is less satisfying, which then leads to all the other things that happen, right? Whether it's being inauthentic with your team, right? Whether it's not leading with purpose. And what I find, Stephen, is that our team watches us
yep,
and they model what we do.
yep.
So if they see us leading without fulfillment, like nothing ever satisfies, it's always just do more, just do more, just do more. Even if they don't like it, that's what they model, and that's how they will interact with each other. Leaders who are listening and watching right now, if that's you, just say, don't say ouch, just say mm, mm, mm.
And that's everybody. So, absolutely, absolutely, because I've led like that as well.
Mhm.
And the the mimicry, the watching, the mirroring, oftentimes is subconscious
Yes. Yes.
because just like desire begets desire, the more I might not like what my leader,
Mm.
the more I go to an extreme to be like my leader. And
Mm.
it's a very mirroring effect. So somebody who is walking with an unscripted authority, an unscripted
Mm.
leadership, meaning they are being intentional every step of the way, they're going to cultivate a team, a peer group, and the leadership above them is going to start mimicking that. That
Mhm.
builds the culture.
Mhm.
And it's
Mhm.
just powerful.
Powerful. Powerful, powerful. So let me ask you this, right? I'm really curious about this one. How does purpose influence decision making during difficult seasons? And before you answer, I just want
Ah,
to, I've been talking to quite a few leaders lately, and we're in a time period where many leaders feel as though they're in a difficult season for a gamut of reasons, right? Whether it's low manpower, trying to do more with less, or constant things are constantly changing, right? And so how does purpose influence decision making during difficult
mm.
seasons?
Well, purpose, like I said, is attached to that very long, long, long North Star, that legacy. And part of that journey is finding out what your values are. I like to say exercising your values as if they're skills. So I call them core values for a reason because it's something that you daily exercise. It might be intentionality, it might be respect, it might be trust. Those exercised skills are there to hone that compass towards
Mm-hmm.
your North Star.
Mm-hmm.
So, what does it have to do with decisions? Well, as you're practicing the purpose within, the emotions of, and then your skills, your core values, those are plotted points along the map that you're on, and the map might say, well, you have to go over this way to get this way, right? But it's a
Mhm.
plotted point to where you can see your journey, how you're going to get there, and then make decisions within those practiced skill sets. Because if your skill set is respect and you're always exercising respect, are you going to disrespect your team to make a decision? Well, that
Yeah.
eliminates 80 decisions right there.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
are you going to do this because of this core value or not?
Mhm.
And so I always recommend 3 to 5 core values. Keep
Mhm.
one closest to you for your season. The season that you're in now, keep
Mhm.
that the top one,
Mhm.
and then go through them, check them off. Is this decision um, we have logical systems. A lot of what I'm talking about is emotional, so it's
Mhm.
metalogical. It's not. It doesn't make sense to us in our logical world. So logical systems, first principles, problem solving, those problem solving matrix for leaders, we know them. We know them very, very well. It's coming down to making those decisions and
Mhm.
feeling like we're going forth and not going to question ourselves and not keep that tab open in our mind. That is where the alignment comes from and the decision making comes from, because there's a lot of decisions I made as a leader
Mhm.
that I
Mhm.
had to revisit and revisit, and there's something wrong. Wait, nope, it was not aligned with my purpose.
Mhm.
I disagree with this. And then I would go back to whoever it was and be like, this doesn't jive. This isn't not what makes sense here.
Mhm.
Um, and sometimes that was the hard thing to do because that was my superior, right? I'm not going to do this because of this.
Mhm.
In the long run, if you have the right superior, they respect you because of
Because of
that.
that. Yeah.
So the decision making is more of a plotted journey, and
Mhm.
really where I took you is that metalogical, that emotional intelligence side of it, because we
Mhm.
already have, as leaders, as managers, as business runners, all of these frameworks to simplify and make those decisions. It's really the emotional part of the metalogical part that burns us out
Mm.
continuously.
Mercy. So, leaders, as you're listening to say, I take off my glasses for a moment. As we're listening to Stephen, we want to really take some time to, he mentioned just a few minutes ago about values and being able to make a list of those values and keeping that close, right? I think that's really important. And as I listened to you, I was thinking of, you kind of took me along the road of looking at purpose as a compass.
Yeah,
Purpose helps to give me direction, especially when circumstances are difficult or they become uncertain. If I understand and know my values and I'm clear on that, then that helps to guide how I respond, not react. I'm following you. I'm following you.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Yes.
purpose provides stability. Purpose can provide stability when my emotions or when pressure is threatening my clarity. This is good, Stephen. This is really good. So, leaders, Stephen and I want to again share with you a best practice. Before making major decisions, ask, does this align with my mission and values, everyone? And values. Matter of fact, we're inviting you right now to go ahead in the chat. Go ahead and just throw in there, share with us what are some values that you lean on that serve as a foundation or your compass, moral compass, when you find yourself in difficult or uncertain situations. So, Stephen, I want to ask you this question. What habits help leaders to stay connected to purpose instead of getting trapped in constant busyness?
Hmm. What habits get, well, exercising your core values.
Mm,
Exercising your core values leads you to purpose.
mm,
So that's one of them. So what habits I for me in my mind, and I use the word habits a lot,
mhm,
but often I like to discern between the word habits and another word, because habits sometimes carry that negative connotation, carry that baggage. And so, what are you going to do to exercise the skills towards your purpose? And for
Mm,
whatever reason, right now, the word
mm,
is the word is losing me, lost for whatever reason. I'm not certain. It's
That's
another
okay.
word for habits, but I like to discern because there is negative side to habits and a positive side, and a lot of times we need to replace something for something.
Mm,
And
mm,
so getting deeper down into the habits of it. So for instance, um, I have a habit of going into work not clear, not thinking, not focusing.
mhm,
And then I go in and I start talking to my team and they're not clear, they're not focused. So then bring that into awareness, which is another part of it. So
mm,
another part of your purpose is awareness.
mhm,
And then be curious.
mm,
Very, very curious. How
mhm,
can I bring a different energy
mhm,
so that my team gets that inertia from the 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds that they see me?
mhm,
Because that is first impressions, right? Even
mhm,
though they see you every single day, first impressions.
mhm,
So I would say just in those three, and I'm for whatever I'm still sitting there trying to think of the word I'm trying to think of here, but it's habits, and then there's something else there, and I love to discern the two, but for right
mhm,
now, for the conversation, habits has both sides.
mm,
You want to take one for the negative, turn it
mhm,
into a positive.
mm,
Practice the positive, and you do that through your skills, your core values. You do
mhm,
that through curiosity. And you
mhm,
do that through building awareness.
mm, mhm,
And those lead you to your purpose. Those help
mm,
you um, practice purpose because
mhm,
it's also a core skill, it's a core value as well.
mm. I love this. So Stephen just gave us some steps, right? We're talking about habits, right? Habits such as journaling or prayer or mentorship, right? Regular personal evaluation. Leaders, this is important. What are your daily practices? What are your consistent habits that help you to strengthen your purpose, maintain, right? He talked about being curious. Let's talk to us just for a moment about curiosity. Take us a little bit deeper on that one.
Oh, I love the what if game.
Mm.
What
Mm.
if? What if I started the day tomorrow and my team sees me energetic?
Mm,
What
mhm,
if they
mhm,
see me in a negative place?
mhm.
So I love the what if because it starts that curiosity. Another
Yes.
one is where maybe you're asking, uh, how can I
Mm,
be much more like such and such? Because there's mentors, there's coaches, or you see a quality in another individual that you would love to, right? I know a lot of people who are extroverted and they go into a crowded room and they're just talking, and I have to build up to the first conversation. And so a lot of times that's another question is how can I be like such and such?
mm,
How do they do it? And sometimes that answer doesn't come for a little bit, but then you're like, oh, well,
mm,
they observed and then they said something,
mm,
right?
mm,
So the curiosity is more like, well, think of yourself as 2 to 5 years old,
mm,
and then put in all of your knowledge into the context and the situation. And what would the 2 to 5 to 8 year old say? Why?
mm,
Why? How? What? Where? And then you start building from there.
mhm. I love that. And Stephen also talked to us about awareness, right? And so, we want to invite you to schedule, like you have to be intentional, schedule weekly reflection time to be aware. I love the curiosity where you said the what if. How can I, right? Take time to ask questions and be aware of what is around you. Stephen, I know that there are leaders, as we turn the corner on this conversation, I know that there are leaders that are listening and watching right now that feel disconnected from purpose. So I'm going to ask you to just sew into us here. If, not if, for the leader that is listening and watching that feels disconnected from purpose, right? They've been working 15, 20, 25 years, and they've kind of lost their sense of purpose along the way. Now it's kind of routine and mechanical, but there's no passion behind it, right? For the leader that feels disconnected for purpose right now, where should they begin?
Oh, well, I'll go back to the curiosity part. Go
Mhm.
back to the curiosity part, the awareness part. Okay.
Mm,
What lights you up in your life? What
mhm.
are you passionate about? What are the moments in your life that you're like, yes,
Yes.
I am filled. My cup is overflowing.
Mm,
When those moments happen over your lifetime and you've been leading for 10, 15, 20, 30 years, you then start to go dot, dot,
mm,
dot, dot.
mhm.
Think about it, journal it, build that self awareness through journaling.
Yes.
Another one is as you had mentioned, Adrian, is prayer.
Mhm, mhm,
Ask through your prayer right before night a
mhm.
question that you know that your mind should answer.
Mm.
And in that way, I would say, what is the purpose? I see this trend. What is the purpose here?
Yes.
And for me, the purpose was the same thing all the time. I was always being of service, always being of service. And once those dots were connected, I go, oh, I remember when I was in kindergarten
Mercy.
and there was this book on the Bible, had
Mhm,
pictures in it, and I knew the stories. And nobody
mm,
else knew how to read. I didn't know how to read, but I knew the stories. And
mm.
this is dating. This is showing the gray hair here because we had a book in school about it.
Yes,
And
yes.
I would sit there and people would, they would kindly listen to the stories.
Mhm,
And it
mhm,
was so fulfilling. And then, that's where coaching came from. That's where speaking and being an author came from, is because this is my North Star.
mm. Wow. This has been such a pivotal conversation. Leaders, Stephen and I have one last best practice for you. You've heard us kind of talk about this over and over again, really inviting you to not just passively watch your life, but to take action. And you can do that by writing down your top 3 values and evaluate whether your current schedule reflects them. No judgment. You're just factually, you're writing down, being honest with yourself, acknowledging what they are, and then just doing an assessment. Does my current interaction with my team, does my current interaction with myself reflect my values? If so, great, keep on doing it. If not, well, this is a great time to stop, assess, reflect, and refine. Yeah, it's a great
Mm,
time to
mm.
start over. Stephen, I want to thank you so much for this conversation. Really, it is one of these conversations that inspires us to live our best lives as leaders. Now, I know that there were leaders that want to find out more about your resources, that want to hear more from you, and or want to be able to share with you what resonated with them from this conversation. What's the best way to engage with you?
I absolutely love that. Please share. I love feedback. I'm a Toastmaster. Getting that feedback saying, hey, this doesn't resonate.
Mhm,
I love hearing it. It's just lights me up. Mindsetgrowth.com, as it's spelled, MYNDSET,
mhm,
mindset growth. This is where you're owning your own mind, the ownership, my mindset.
mhm.
So reach out to me, visit me there. You're going to see on there that I just launched a book, and may I show it? Because I do have a
Yeah,
copy.
please.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And it's just been published. So I have a book, Seven Laws of Personal Mastery.
Yes.
It's on sale on the website. Reach out. Everything that I've said today,
Mhm.
this dives deep into the experiential skills of building it.
Mm.
And so it's my passion. I love it. Thank you very much, Adrian.
Absolutely. All right, listen, Transformation Station, you know what we like to do. You see the link right here on the screen. It's also in the description box. All of his social media handles are there as well. We're inviting you to go ahead, click on the links, buy the book. Use the book, share the book. Also, I'm inviting you to reach out to Stephen. Like, let him know that you saw, you heard this episode. Share with him what has resonated with you. Ask him questions. We have a resident expert here because we know that the community that learns together grows together. Stephen, it has been wonderful to host you, to have you here on Transformation Station. Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's an honor, and thank you. I've been waiting and anticipating this, so thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. Well, Transformation Station, listen. Today's conversation with Stephen reminded us that productivity is a wonderful tool, but it was never meant to be our purpose. I need you to remember today, purpose gives meaning to effort. Purpose creates resilience during the challenges, and purpose helps leaders like you and I to remain grounded when success and pressure and expectations all compete for our attention. Thank you for joining us for this conversation. And to everyone listening, my final reminder is this: you can fill your calendar and still feel empty. But when purpose leads, productivity becomes meaningful. So until next time, stay intentional, stay aligned, and keep leading forward with purpose.